Hey there, I don't do these things very often, or possibly at all, if you may have noticed, if you ever bothered looking at my channel. If so, why? Why would you do that? Anyway, but I got this in the post today, and, well, it's the first time I've actually seen one in person. I never actually saw one on sale in the UK ever, well, I'm sure they probably were. And there's no reviews of this up on YouTube, so I thought I'd do one, because I think it's quite a cool little thing. Anyway, this is the Starship Troopers Action Fleet TAC fighter, and it's one of the only, well, two ships they did in the line. The other one is the Retrieval Ship, which I also have, by the way, which I may do a review of if enough people look at this, just so I can see if there's any point. Anyway, okay, let's get to looking at it. It's quite a cool little design, actually. It's, it's one of the, like a lot of the designs in Starship Troopers, it doesn't look too, ridiculously futuristic, far-fetched, that sort of thing. It looks as if somebody could, in however many years is it? Did they actually say how far Starship Troopers is set in the future in the film? I don't know. But, you could see this is something we could make in the future. It sort of follows on from designs that, aviation companies have done before, and that sort of thing. Anyway, now we've had a look at it, let's go through some of the features. As with most of the Action Fleet stuff, it does actually come with pilot figures, two in this case, and they both have opening cockpits. I won't bother taking them out because if you want to know what Action Fleet figures look like, they're small, their legs are stuck together and their arms just about move. But there we go. This one comes with a pilot who I've got sat in the back because he seemed to fit back in there better, and someone who's supposed to be Carmen from the film, who's played by Denise Richards. I'll take their word from that. Oh, and a little thing, her arms were actually put on backwards, and I couldn't see any possible way of fixing it, but seeing as she's going to be sat in the cockpit all the time, I didn't see any bother trying to mend it, so I didn't. There we go. But anyway, one thing I did notice though, because I've got a few of the Star Wars Action Fleet stuff as well, and something that this has that they don't, and if you've got some of them you may notice this as well. When you put the pilot figures into the Action Fleet Star Wars things, if you flew them upside down or whatever, as you would if you ever played with toys, because that's what they're for, isn't it, playing with. If you ever flew them upside down or whatever, you always notice the pilot figure would usually jiggle around inside. With these ones, they've actually got, I don't know if it, yeah, you can just about see it on camera there, they've actually got this post, so if you wedge the figure's legs over it, it holds them in pretty securely. I mean, I can hold this upside down and give it, well, a damn hard shake, and they don't fall out, which is good. And as well, the canopy covers, and the front one doesn't go in quite as well as the back one, but once it's in, it pretty much stays there. The canopy covers as well, if you hold them upside down and give them a good shake, they stay shut too. So that's good. So that's quite good quality there, because I know a couple of the Star Wars ones don't, and I actually had to solve that with the universal solution, blue tack, as I do with a lot of stuff. But anyway, there's the pilots and the cockpit. There's a lot of good paint detailing as well, and I've had a look over and I can't see any any fudge marks in the paint or missing bits of applications or whatever, so that's all pretty solid. So it's a good quality production piece. Oh, sorry, I just went off camera there, didn't I? It's, it was well done. It also has retractable landing gear. Now this is the only thing I really have issue with, but I don't know if this is necessarily, is it Galoo, Voodoo Micro Machines? Yeah, I don't know if this is necessarily their fault, because obviously with a lot of the Star Wars stuff, the Star Wars ship's well documented where everything goes, they've got bloody full technical drawings and schematics and stuff. The fighter from Starship Troopers, I'm guessing probably not as much. But anyway, the landing gear does retract. Here's the front one in. Yeah, that's all the way in. Then it's still pretty much sticking out. But that's not the worst thing. Yeah. That's as good as that gets. But then again, it's solidly in there. If I shake it about, it doesn't fall out. So it's in there firmly, so at least that's something. So at least you can whoosh the fighter about the place. And the landing gear doesn't flop about, so that's good anyway. So it's still quality, it's a little bit disappointing that it's basically just stuck out there. but it does retract. So, and it's sort of the fronts of it sort of pop up into these gaps that are in the main wings here. Okay. Oh, and this also has 2 missile launchers. You'll obviously see the red there. And you'll notice there's no obvious buttons around the front of the fighter or underneath anywhere. There's some screw holes, yeah, but there's no triggers. That's because the triggers are actually the tail fins, and they're hinged backwards. And if you do that all the way, I'll do this into my hand because they're actually pretty powerful launchers. They do go pretty far. I haven't gone and actually measured how many feet it is or whatever, because does anybody really care about that unless we are going to start artillerying with our little brothers? Yeah, I used to do that. But if you squeeze the tail fin back like this, there you go, the missile fires out. And I think that's pretty good. Incidentally, the Retrieval Ship also does a similar thing with its bomb bay, as in you have to squeeze the, or is it push them back? Yeah, you have to push its tail planes back and the bomb doors open and all the bombs fall out. But if I do a review of that, I'll go over that, obviously. But anyway, here it is, the Starship Troopers TAC fighter. I think it's pretty cool, especially if you remember, I think it's its only appearance in the film. The 2 of them come swooping over, is it Planet P? And drop, I think, 1 bomb each and take out about 9,000 square miles of bugs. And I personally thought that was rather cool. As for getting hold of one, I got this off eBay and it's the only one I've ever seen on there. So I don't know if that means they're particularly rare or they just don't come up very often or whatever. But, you know, if you want one, go and have a good look. You'll probably find one somewhere. I had to get this one. This one actually came from Germany. So, there you go. But, anyway, that's the TAC fighter. I think it's pretty cool. Hopefully you do too. If you're watching this, thanks. God knows why. Maybe I'll do some more. Alright, have a good one.